Thank you already again for listening. Jonathan, how are you?
I am good, Brittany. We are going through technical difficulties as one usually does. Uh, but we are pulling through and still here. So much has happened. I feel like since the last time we talked, award season is still
Mhm.
happening. So I'm excited to continue to recap and touch base on all things pop culture. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I mean, as we spoke earlier, it was a long day yesterday, so I'm like recovering from that today. But just so everybody knows, this is the reality of doing a virtual show. We're gonna get in person soon, we promise. But for now, y'all are gonna have to deal with some blurriness. It's okay, y'all. You can listen always. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I'm doing good. Excited to be here. Excited to talk pop culture. You know, that's our thing. Every time we're at work, we just have to start yapping. So now let's take it to the pod.
Yes, we are here. We are ready to chat about some things. But I know before we get started, let's talk about what we are drinking.
I okay, so this one is so funny because of yesterday. I was like, I had nothing like interesting planned. I got my water, but I did not disappoint. I have another beverage, I promise. It's funny, I had a matcha lemonade before this, and I'm like, I I finished it. Sorry, y'all. I finished it while getting ready. So I also had a strawberry lemonade poppy. These are actually so good. Yes, this is poppy. There's the two brands. This one is Poppy. It's actually pretty good. I love me a little soda, a little beverage. So I know you have something a lot more interesting because once you said, "Hey, I'm making my drink," I'm like, "Damn, gotta show up now." So what do you have?
Oh, yes, I know. And first, let me just say, for people who are gonna watch the video, that cup is so cute. Where you have your poppy in, it's giving all the vibes. So cute. So for me, I have this is a drink from Proper. So I'm trying out like these kind of new like not protein shakes, but just more natural kind of like organic-y drinks. And this one is like their daily boost. It's founded by Amanda Klutz, who is a host. I didn't know she was like a city rockette, girly as well. Yeah, so a performer, entertainer, host. So this is her line, and she's kind of like launching it. I mean, hey, Amanda, sponsor us if you want to, but this is Proper. So I've been enjoying it so far. The flavors are really good.
Amanda, I voted for you on Dancing with the Stars. Please sponsor us. She did so good. Did you see her on Dancing with the Stars?
I did not, and I'm even shocked that to find out now that she is a dancer, the entertainer side of her. So I'm all about her. So Amanda, yes, please, we love you.
When we get into the fall season when Dancing with the Stars starts, I can talk all day long about the whole who's a dancer, who's not, and like why is it fair, why is it not fair. She did amazing. She was on the season with JoJo Siwa. She came in fourth and she did amazing. She did a tribute number to her husband, Nick Cordero, and that was like had me sobbing my eyes out. But she was amazing. So
Oh my God, yeah. Now that you bring it up, I did watch that season. So I'm so sorry, Amanda girl. I was not able to pick you out from the crowd right now. But now that Brittany is bringing it up, we know who you are, and yeah, love, love, love. What a good season too.
I know. As a Dancing with the Stars girl, like there was like those dark times I'd say from like season 26, which was like that 4 week athlete season, and it's just picking up steam now. But we will be very excited to talk about that in the fall. But for now, because this is one of our more standard episodes, in the first episode you got to know our Grammy faves. So this episode we want you guys to get to know more about us and who you're chatting with every whenever this comes out. We don't have a set amount just yet, but every episode, you know who you're chatting with. And in every episode, we want to start off with a stream spin style. So, who are we listening to? What are we wearing? And what are we watching? So, to kick things off, what is something that you watched recently, Jonathan?
Oh Lord. Okay, so I know there are the girlies, especially our 90s people who are gonna be listening who maybe can relate to this. Maybe this is like early 2000. But I have been on a Disney Channel just binge of like past movies, especially movies. And the one that I watched this weekend was Lemonade Mouth. Iconic. The music. Miss Bridget is doing big things now. She's no longer acting, but it was just so cool to like see these people, young faces. You have what was it, the Haley, Cuoco as well. Is that right? Haley Cuoco? Yeah,
Haley Kyoko. Yeah.
Kyoko. Yes. So she's also on it. You also have Miss Girl who was Jasmine. Love Me Some Naomi as well. So I mean, just so many like people that I feel like have had an amazing career. So I don't know, something I've just been watching, and that the Terminate song is just iconic. I'm playing, yeah, it's I love it. What about you, Brittany? What are you watching? What have you watched recently?
Ah, that's so fun. So recently I just finished Nobody Wants This on Netflix. This is with Adam Brody and Kristen Bell, which I'm so mad that I waited so long to watch the show because I know it came out over the fall, but I'm honestly not as mad because now I don't have to wait as long because I know they're going into filming within the next few weeks. It is such a good show. Like, I love it. And so it was only 10 episodes. They were like 30 minutes each, which that's actually pretty good because I'm like over the whole hour long episode thing. Like, I've tried to watch The Boys so many times, but I'm like, an hour an episode it's a lot. So I finished Nobody Wants This, and because of that, I've now been on an Adam Brody kick. So now I'm watching The OC.
Ooh, I love this. I need to get into that, by the way, too. I've been seeing it, and I just haven't watched it yet. But yeah, I mean, Adam Brody was like heartthrob realness. So yes.
We're gonna talk about him in a hot minute. Let's talk about what are you listening to?
Okay, I mean, aside from the Wicked soundtrack, I mean, just always on repeat in the background. I am so into my girls' Flow. It is a UK girl group. It's just three of them who very cool journey of how they were put together and whatnot. But basically, they do like this R&B pop music. They're actually touring now, and they're going to be coming to New York in April. So I'm getting like I have tickets to go see them. So I don't know. They're just their songs, Cardboard Box, did it for me. What's in my bag? I don't know. They're just really really cool music. Yeah. What about you, Brittany?
That's so interesting, actually. I gotta get into them. Also with you on the Wicked soundtrack, fun fact, Jonathan drove us to our holiday, what is that, our work Christmas party, our work holiday party, and he had the soundtrack playing in the background, and I think I was the only one in the car who was like for it. But along with Wicked, for me, popular, I have to play it once a day. That song just exudes fun. Like I adore the song, and I adore Ariana's rendition of the song. Also, what I've been listening to, Hurry Up Tomorrow by The Weeknd, Debbie Tiras Más Fotos by Bad Bunny, and two singles. Number one was Couldn't Make It Any Harder, which is also short and sweet, the deluxe version. It just sounds so much like Hopelessly Devoted to You, and I think that was intentional because Sabrina did do a cover of it when she did the Eras tour, and it's just such the it's just so good. And then this one like came back into my rotation, which is That's So True by Gracie Abrams. I don't know what it is. It just popped back into my rotation all of a sudden. So
Yeah, I mean, I haven't listened to Gracie Adams like that, but again, another person who I feel like I've been seeing just like come up on my feed and stuff. So definitely want to check it out. I mean, with that, we've talked about what we're listening to, what we've watched. But Brittany, what is something you are rocking right now, wearing, whether it's clothes, skincare, healthcare, body care, makeup? What are you loving?
again, late to the trend on this. We promise we're like on time with trends. We promise, but late to the viral trend with this. It is the Road glazing milk. I am somebody who, because I'm like very acne, oily skin, that kind of thing. So I'm always very scared of like products that make you look a lot dewier and everything. But this makes my skin look so gorgeous. I'm actually having it. I have it right now. It makes my skin look so glowy, so healthy. It feels amazing. So I know Rhode is like a hit or miss. I've tried. I have here their lip tints and their peptide treatments. Those unfortunately are a hit or miss. When they're good, they're great. When they're not good, they're horrible. But this and the glazing milk, Haley, I got you, girl. What about you?
She knew what she was doing with that. I mean, for me, honestly, I am loving a nice accessory, a nice bag. And with that, I mean, Brittany, we've seen it. I mean, you love it too, the Baze bag. And I'm specifically talking about my mini weekender. It's just, I take it everywhere, whether I'm going to school, work. It's just become kind of like that go to bag for just traveling with as much stuff as possible. If I need a second option of shoes or another little wardrobe change, I can all stuff it just all in there. And I don't know, I love, especially I have it in like that chocolatey color. So I feel like that's even been an amazing. People have complimented it as well. So grab your base bag.
You and I are both very big on that with Bays. I love Bays. I actually used the big backpack yesterday because I had like a 12-hour production day and I put my whole life in there. I have the Weekender. I have the bigger one. I have the Weekender, which I took on, a night trip to my friend's house. Amazing. And I have the work tote as well. That's actually what I use for work now. Listen, I love me some bays as well. Anytime I need a bag, that's like the first place I'm looking up. So Shay Mitchell, you have done well.
Yes, Shay Mitchell, we love you.
So let's also talk about, just before we get into our viewer questions, what are, any pressing pop culture news for you in particular? Did you watch the SAG Awards or?
I skimmed through it a little bit. I was watching, I mean, just in general, these past few weeks that we've been connecting, it's just been very hectic with awards season and obviously everything we're seeing. Um, but I will say something that stood out to me was Natasha Rothwell. She did do, I was seeing it on social media, especially now, her acceptance speech. Wait,
Mhm.
are you getting a lot of feedback?
A little bit, but not too much. Like, it sounds like you have a fan on, but it's not too
Yeah, I
bad.
don't have a fan at all. I don't know if it's. I think it's my computer is literally failing.
I was
Like,
gonna say, are you like overheating?
I guess, yeah. Like I do hear it here, but damn, I'm like, okay. I just wonder if it's gonna translate to the video.
I can try to play with the sound a little bit because I'll probably throw the audio in Adobe and then we could play with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, okay.
As long as your computer doesn't blow up.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
And that's always my fear too.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, yeah. Let's. Oh, girl, not me. Right. Oh, child, the technical difficulties. Okay. I guess I should continue with Miss Natasha then.
Yeah.
So I mean, as I was saying, Natasha Rothwell, she recently accepted a Spirit Award, and it was for like Best Cast Ensemble. But basically, in her speech, she did talk about the need for us to just talk a little bit more about the trans community, and saying that, like, actors and artists in general are with them. And the reason I bring it up is because I think, especially now, we are seeing a big intersection between like the political world and everything that's happening there, but also with entertainment, pop culture, and people using their platforms to actually speak on things that are kind of being shunned in other places. So I just thought it was very courageous, very bold, and definitely appreciative of that.
I definitely appreciate that too. And being in Hollywood, where I think if we look back a decade ago, this would all been very keep your mouth shut, very not even a decade ago. I think even if we talk about not this past administration, but the presidential cycle beforehand in 2016, I still don't think people were as outspoken. So it is very I guess comforting to finally see people who understand that it's no longer about, the money, and now it's really, and you can also argue that it's like, okay, well, now they're being affected, so now they're going to say something, but at the end of the day, they're speaking out, and this is something that we're starting to see people move a little bit towards a unified front. We're definitely not out of the woods yet, and we're definitely not there yet, but movement and progression is very appreciated, to see that. And even like with the Grammys, that we had spoke a little bit about that, and I think it is really, really important, and it is shocking. Like, I'll see the news, I'm like, wow, like they're really speaking up and they're speaking out. So definitely a surprise to see, but it, again, an appreciated effort as well. Also with the SAG Awards, I only watched about the first hour or so, just because I had to head to bed early. Kristen Bell did great. She was adorable. She was so cute. I do have to say, speaking of the OC and everything, Adam Brody and Leighton Meester were so damn hot. Oh my goodness. They are adorable. It was funny because I was scrolling and I saw, I think it was a Hollywood Reporter, that they were one of the first to post like the paparazzi shots. And in the video, Leighton had her head down. I'm like, who the hell is that? Because Leighton had brown hair like the last few award shows.
Oh
She had
yeah.
brown hair and she had the bangs. This time she had, the bangs and the French twist and all that. This time she came out with a different look and they looked stunning. Like, they were amazing. I love the two of them. They're like my favorite Hollywood couple. Um, but something, and we'll probably get more into this in our next episode when we recap the Oscars. What are your thoughts on on the Wicked snubs in the major award shows?
I know. I mean, I'm glad that there's a part two of Wicked, right? So they will be potentially, most likely, nominated again next. Well, this, I guess, year. No, next year. They will be back in the awards cycle. Like a Cynthia Erivo, a Ariana, Wicked in general. I mean, I just think it's very hard competition. I do think Emilia sweeping most of the categories is something that I am like, that's more what I've been questioning a little bit more. No shade to obviously the incredible people behind it, but I just think Wicked had such a moment, and we're seeing it touch so many different industries. Like even Drag Race, a huge fan of Drag Race. They just did a challenge where they had to do like a movie musical, and they did Wicked, Wizard of Oz, and The Wiz, and it was like this compilation of, So I'm like, even that made its well, like Wicked made its way into Drag Race. So I'm like, it's just something so iconic. So I think yeah, we're my girls are being shaded, but I hope they will pick up some awards down the line. What about you, Brittany?
I agree with that. And again, no, this is no shade to the Amelia Perez team and to everybody who worked on the film. One thing I will say that I've noticed in the voting for film compared to film, voting for music and television, is that in film it really, it sometimes it's not necessarily about what you did in that year, it's what you did career span wise. And I think that's what we're seeing with Zoe Saldana now, is she's getting the accolades for this because of her long career, which I do have a lot of arguments about that. I don't think we should be awarding, giving lifetime achievement awards. I think this should be based on the work that you are nominated for. And that goes for every nominee. I think Ariana was fantastic in Wicked. Cynthia, John Chu, who has been snubbed out of the director category. And then Wicked just overall being snubbed. I will say, I think had it lost to a film like The Substance, which was friggin' amazing, I think it would be an easier pill to swallow. But to watch it lose to Amelia Perez, which if you look at the general public's opinion, first and foremost, the film isn't, just the music of the film. And I think we spoke a little bit about that one song that I'm like, I feel like this was a South Park song. And then just overall the performances, I don't think you can compare the two. So another thing is that what usually happens, and I haven't studied, film as long to see what happens with a two-part film, but from what I understand is that the first part usually does not get a lot, and then the second film will sweep. But what scares me about that is everybody who has seen Wicked in the stage production always says that the second act, which is what we're going to see in Wicked for Good, is not as strong as the first act. So we're really we're playing a game here. And I guess when the second film comes out, we shall see.
Yes, and I mean, even when you're mentioning about the songs too, I mean, I'm excited for like a For Good, the Alakanamana, like all these, like I don't know, for me they're really really like cool songs, and I just hope, yeah, I'm rooting for our girls and John Chu, who did get snubbed this award season for sure.
Oh yeah, losing best director was absolutely insane. But we've kind of shared our opinions on what's going on in the world. We did ask our viewers to send over some questions to us, and then we'll play a fun game. But right now, for viewer questions, let's get into it. We have one question from Sunny Morgan, which is my girl. Thank you so much for letting me this question. She said, "What new music are we looking forward to this year?"
Ooh, I mean, new music for this year. I'm gonna say it just because I've been thinking. Oh, actually, no, no. I'm okay. I'm gonna reveal both of them. But first, Chloe X Haley, or Hallie, I mean, like that duo. They are. I heard supposedly they are maybe making music or have been working
Mm-hmm.
together again. So I feel like that sisterhood. I need another album. I need to hear them now in their grown era. So definitely want to hear something from them. And I've been hearing some of Normani's singles. And although her team has been horrible at promoting our girly, I want to hear new music and like what she's going through now, and to see if anything with like the management or her journey kind of with releasing music, has that changed, has that impacted how she writes, how she produces. Like I want to hear her evolution now as well. So I would say those two are like what I'm thinking of. What about you, Brittany?
Motivation is one of my favorite songs from Normani, and her, again, her team, it's just, I think if she had an amazing team backing her, she would be unstoppable. But unfortunately, your music can only be so good, but if you don't have a good team behind you in this business, unfortunately, it's going to fall flat. For me, I'm going to say Wicked for Good. I have to hear their renditions. So that's definitely one. Doechii, from what I understand, is supposed to release her debut album this year. And given that Grammy performance, I need the full album. Just seeing her win on an EP and a mixtape alone is amazing. So let's see what she does, album wise. And lastly, following in line with, usually artists will release music every 2 years. I'm kind of hoping we see something from Olivia Rodrigo this year. With Sour, she did Guts. I know she's in a loving relationship now, so I want to see what that music looks like. And I'm excited to see if she keeps in line with the four-letter album titles.
Yeah, I feel like just like you said, she is in love now, so I feel like I would love to hear that era instead of all the other eras that we've gotten from her before. So I'm ready for this Olivia new music for sure. With that, our next question that came in was from my fiance Brandon Reyes, who did ask, or more so, I guess, made a statement or made a claim. He was like, "We need an Oscar recap." So yes, we are watching the award shows. Yes, we are staying tuned to the latest. So I feel like, yeah, we love the Oscars. We will definitely watch it and we will definitely give our thoughts from it. What do you think, Brittany?
Absolutely. We just heard about the performance that's happening. That's opening up the show. Like, I think we're probably going to spend a majority of the episode talking about the performance.
Yep.
So yes, absolutely, we have an Oscar episode on the way, and I think that'll be what closes out our award show season, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Pretty much,
yeah,
yeah.
like,
A lot of like the bigger, yeah, the award shows for sure. And I'm like, if Wicked has been snubbed in this award cycle, it won't be snubbed on pop culture. That's for sure.
absolutely not. We're Wicked stands over here. So with that, this is actually a fun question. This came from our coworker actually. This came from Eric. And he said race car driver William Byram shot his shot under Sabrina Carpenter's Vogue cover. Do you think he has a shot? So in this generation, he shot his shot by saying hi with two eyes, which I think that's flirting. I don't know about you. That's flirting.
That is a totally flirting. And I mean, Sabrina Carpenter is that girl right now. So he knows where he wants to shoot a shot.
Hmm.
But I have to Google this man to see if I approve for Miss
Here,
Sabrina.
let me pull up a photo.
I'm like,
But
we gotta do the research.
it's funny though because when it comes to Sabrina Carpenter, I don't think I'd ever. Well, I mean, listen,
Well,
so much, but I don't know if I would see her like with a race car driver. I don't. If there's kids watching, cover their ears really quick. Do they have any like, you know? Have you ever tried this one? Do they have anything that they could bring to the table with that? I mean, I mean, he looks kind of cute.
yeah, he looks smart. He must be a great race driver.
He must be a great man. Maybe. Listen,
Yeah.
not to knock on anybody's looks, but like, do we think Barry was a 100 out of 10? Barry's very attractive, but again, I wouldn't have saw the two together. Which actually, did you see the Please 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 with Dolly Parton in the video?
Oh my gosh, yes. I iconic in general, but yes.
So
Oh,
did you see the part? Because remember, Barry was in the original video, and
okay.
in this video, they have a guy who's dressed up like Barry. Like they don't show the face, but he's in the back of a car, and it basically looked like they took him out. So I think that's confirmation right there that she's on the market. So William, if you want to shoot your shot, baby.
One thing I'm gonna say too is if you need a detective, get Brittany on your side. She was able to pick up on those Easter eggs that the people and the fans love. I did not even think about that. I was too obsessed with Miss Dolly Parton and the hair and the outfits and all the jazz. Um, but ooh, I love that. And you know what? Yeah, if I say it doesn't hurt to shoot your shot. Sabrina Carpenter is the moment. She might also want to date someone who is a little bit, obviously in the limelight, but just a little bit of a different industry. So, hey, girl, I'm here for it. If not, maybe it turned into a good song that we get. So,
We love good music out of Miss Sabrina. So yeah.
amazing. And I think we have one more question. This is from Elise Vivet.
This is
And this
Elizabeth. This is our girl, our
Oh my
coworker.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in and dropping the question. And so she asked, what is your take on the Justin Baldoni, the Lake Lively situation? Brittany, let us know.
Let me start with the root Well, there's a first root problem. In my opinion, that book shouldn't. I don't think any of Colleen Hoover's books needed to be adapted to film. Personally, Just given from what I understand and from what I've learned about Colleen Hoover and, just maybe some enablement that's been going on, I don't think that this book should have ever been made into a film. So we could start there. What I will say is, I don't know about you, Jonathan, but I have not sat down to really go through court documents and really comb through everything. So my opinion right now is based on what I've known and what I've read so far. Once we sit down, because we do plan on doing a little deeper dive into this. Once I do that, I can, and I am always willing to change my opinion once new information is presented. So let's just get that out the way. My answer, honestly, is probably not going to be the answer that everyone wants to hear. I don't want to say I'm neutral in the situation, but I believe that both parties are at fault in this situation. Let me start with the fact that, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Blake Lively. She has just done things from her plantation wedding, and I don't know, Jonathan, if you had seen this. There's a video going around now. Just like everything else, when somebody's being canceled, all of a sudden now their past gets thrown at them, which is a whole nother conversation on how fair that is. But there was one in particular that I had seen, and it was a Gossip Girl panel, and a panelist was talking because in the book, Chuck had a monkey in the book. He didn't have a monkey, of course, on the show. But Blake made a joke about, I couldn't act with the monkey, then I was given all these monkeys to act with, and she points at her co-stars, and you know how people love to do the whole, oh, it's a joke, it's this. But then there was one that it's like, we're like, damn, girl, you really did that? Like, you really went there? Because the panelist said something, or the moderator said something about, acting with cages or acting in a cage. And for those who don't know, Leighton Meester's mother was in prison when she gave birth to Leighton. So Blake then motions to Lincoln. They were sitting next to each other. And she says, well, some of us started off in cages. So things like that are very nasty behavior that I just don't agree with. So again, Blake Lively has a past that I don't agree with and I don't condone. However, that does not negate the fact, and it does not discriminate the fact that she can also be a victim of harassment. I think a lot of times, and what we're seeing now, is people want to say, well, she did this, that, and the third, so I don't care. And I think that's a very dangerous narrative that we're playing with. So she absolutely can, just because she doesn't have the most favorable past, she absolutely can also be a victim in the future. So with that, I will say, Justin, I don't believe that Justin Baldoni is 100% innocent either. For me, the biggest thing is one of the more recent things that came out was the voice note, where, I mean, did you listen to the voice note?
Is this the one that he left for Blake?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. And I just feel, one, I'm also very much like, I think leaving voice notes at, like, what was it? I think it was past midnight or something that he was
Right.
saying. Also was a little bit much for me. I think him just in general, probably as a person, can be a lot for some people,
Mm-hmm.
which can go either way for some. And I think the way he was talking to her too, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it couldn't be taken the wrong way, Especially if, as a husband who's listening his wife receive a message like that from someone who's like, oh my god, I can't wait to feel and whatever, and he's like, and he even says it like, of like, oh, this must be so weird, blah blah. But like, that's where I think, like you mentioned, I think both had a play into this, or are at fault, because I think one thing we probably will never get is the truth. I think there's her truth, his truth, and then the real thing that actually
There's
happened.
three sides to every story.
There is, and I think as more things are coming out, you can definitely see that there are moments that she definitely was uncomfortable. There are also moments where I do agree that it's a little bit excessive, where you're asking for Louis Vuittons for a character that is supposed to be a broke florist,
Mm-hmm.
where like these demands in a sense that you're making is just a little bit, I think, is not right for an actor in a sense when we think about it, right? When the leads should be a producer, the executive director. So she, I think, overstepped her boundary a little bit. And then on his end, I mean, yes, he is very loved and he has been outspoken about his support for women and for like equality in general. But I do think that, I don't know, something about him has always been off to me. And so, I feel like this might be the moment where things are starting to come out. But I am excited to like do a deep dive into the topic for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And also we have the voice note where he even said something about, you have a baby on your boob right now, which she is a new mom, or she was a new mom at the time of filming. And yes, she could have been breastfed, but like, again, as a coworker, we have to look at this as these people are coworkers. I don't Well, we work in a very interesting place at the moment, but I wouldn't talk to a coworker like that, you know, like I wouldn't send my coworker things like that at that time. So I think that's something that's very important. And we also have to look at when she did, I think there was a specific scene in the movie where she was giving birth and he made it an open set and he hired his friend to play the gynecologist or whatever it was. So again, I think they were just issues on both ends. They were, and like you said, I don't think we're ever going to see this play out. I do think they're going to settle before we go to court next year. I 100% believe that. I know the Hollywood Reporter just came out with a new cover. I don't know, again, how much I agree with it. It was a take on David and Goliath and painting Justin Baldoni. I think it was like painting him as Jesus Christ. I don't think, again, until we have like the clear truth, and in this with what's been coming out, there is no clear like quote unquote winner. There is not a clear winner. There is not a clear this person is wrong, this person is right. I think both parties are at fault, and I truly do believe that they're going to settle before they get out of here. So
Yeah, and I think even with that too, I think it's been interesting though to see how the public's perception can switch so quickly and find you at fault. Because when she first released her lawsuit, for months, even through the holidays, we were judging, I would say weeks in a sense, we were judging Justin Baldoni.
yeah,
People were like just pointing at every little fault or trying to find fault in what he's been doing. But the minute he released his facts or what he alleges to be facts, it switched immediately and now she's getting the brunt of it, and obviously it's continued, I feel like, since he's released more things, and people are obviously digging into her past as well. So I just feel like it definitely, they both have lost, I feel like, in this as well, that I think any way that they settle, I feel like both their careers will definitely be affected in some capacity.
absolutely. And just before we wrap up, there was also the note of Ryan Reynolds writing the scene during the strike. He was not on that movie. He was not supposed to be on that film. So again, there's no clear right or wrong. They're both at fault, but I do think that you can be at fault and still be a victim of something somehow. So that is our take. I'm pretty sure people wanted us to pick a clear side. Pretty sure they wanted us to pick opposite sides, but I don't think that that's going to happen in this moment. And as more information comes out, we will definitely, you know, stay up to date and, you know, can potentially change our opinion once hardcore evidence is presented. But at the moment, what we have, that is what we think. So thank you to everybody who sent out those questions. And kind of to wrap up the episode and get to know us, we're going to play a fun little game called Pop Culture Hot Seat, film, TV, music, and celebrity categories. And when we have guests on in the future, we are so excited to play this game with them. But in the sake of getting to know us, we're going to play the game together. So let's start off with film. We're going to take turns answering back and forth each question. So, Jonathan, first and foremost, what is a movie you watched more than 5 times?
Oh, a movie that I have watched more than 5 times. Cheetah Girl. I'm in my Disney flow. Sorry.
Mean Girls. One Mean
Ooh.
Girls. Uh,
Um, yeah. Um, you, me.
oh, I can. All right, I'll do film and then you can take TV. Do you want to start over?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So I'll take film, you take TV, I take music, you take celeb.
Perfect.
Okay. So let me just reintroduce the segment. Three, two, all right. So as we wrap up this episode, we want to play a little game in the sake of getting to know us, Pop Culture Hot Seat, where we're going to answer rapid fire questions in the categories of film, TV, music, and celebrity. When we have guests on in the future, we are so excited to play this game with them, but to get to know us now, we're going to play the game with each other. So starting off with film, Jonathan, what's a movie you've seen more than 5 times?
Oh, I'm gonna say Cheetah Girls just because I'm in my Disney flow right now.
I'm going to say Mean Girls, 100%. Most overrated movie you've watched?
I would say The Hangover. I
Okay.
just, I mean, yes, great, play it, but there's not, the hype for me has faded. I don't know.
I'm gonna say, and put the hate comments down, I'm gonna say Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. I think Mockingjay Part 1 and 2 could have been combined into its own movie. I think there was just too much at the end that it dragged the story on way, way, way too long. If you were a movie, if your life were a movie, what genre would it be and who would play you?
Okay, if my life was a movie, I would want it to be like an action movie with a little bit of romance, you know, and maybe slight moments of comedy, but definitely like an action movie. I don't know. That's just in my head. I'm seeing like Mission Impossible. We're running to the airport and it's gonna be dramatic. And there's gonna be something happening. And who would play me? Ooh, I. Oh my god, I don't know his name top of mind, but the guy who did Beetlejuice, love, love, love.
Mhm.
Let,
I was gonna say I'm about to go look for his name.
yeah, I do like his work. Um, let's see. Oh no, not not me saying Beetlejuice. Um, the guy who did the it was Beetle from DC. I think they say Solo Maridueña was his name. He played Jaime Reyes in Blue Beetle for DC, not the Beetlejuice.
Oh, okay.
Not me throwing people off. They were like, who's from Beetlejuice?
That's why I'm like, who is he talking about?
I'm
Okay,
like, Jenna
cool.
Ortega. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, cool. So action movie and the guy action rom com, action romance, and then the guy from Movie Rule.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. I would say mine is gonna be a rom com. I'm a sucker for rom coms. And who would play me? I'd say for going based on looks, I'm gonna say Ariel Winter. Everybody always like compares me to Alex from Modern Family. Or if we're gonna go based on vibes, even though she's not an actress anymore, Amanda Bynes, one of my favorites of all time. So that yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on to TV.
Yeah, so let's do TV now. So to start off, Brittany, what TV character do you relate to the most?
Blair Waldorf, hands down. I don't got her money, but everything else I got. Her ambition, everything else I got, except the money. Yet.
Oh my God. Okay, I am gonna. I'm just gonna say every time I watch this show, I relate to America Ferrera in Ugly Betty.
Oh
You
my
know?
god.
And the reason growing up, I used to just watch it. I felt like, just growing up felt like an outcast. But Miss Honey had guts. And I feel like she didn't have a sense of style, which maybe that's where we're kind of off, maybe. Maybe some people look at me and maybe think not. But I don't know. I loved her guts. I think family was a big core to her story as well. Um, the queer even storyline in there and how she support. I don't know. I think her character in general, I just always reflect back on it. I'm like, you know what, girl, you were doing it even in an industry that kind of ostracized you. So yeah, that would be my person. Now, Brittany, what is a show that was canceled too early and one that's gone on too long?
One that's canceled way too early. This is like a throwback from like 2013. I was like 2014. I was like 13 when the show came out. But it was Red Band Society. It was on Fox. And it was like if you took the Breakfast Club and like put all the kids in a hospital. That's essentially what it was. Sierra Bravo from Big Time Rush was in it. Octavia Spencer was on the show. It was just like a really cool like yeah, it was just like a really cool like I don't know. I wouldn't say Fault in Our Stars kind of show because it wasn't like as serious and like heart wrenching at that moment, but it was a really funny show. Keeping in line with the medical dramas, and this was my fave. This is like what I binge watched all throughout high school. Grey's Anatomy, y'all. Let it go. Let it go. It's so funny because somebody was like, the hospital's gonna blow up in the finale. I'm like, the hospital blew up already. Like, they just let the show go, y'all. I'm sorry. Ellen Pompeo just moved on to do other things. Let's just let it go.
Yeah, I mean, I think on that same beat, definitely a show I would say that has gone on too long is Grey's Anatomy. I'm also hearing like obviously they're doing like the prequel and all these other storylines. They're trying to expand on it. I just think that we have hit the road, let it go, and it's had a great legacy. So why, like, let's just stop it there. A show that I think was canceled too early, and I hope some people know about the show, but it was called Jane by Design,
Oh my god,
and
yes.
it was on ABC Family at the time, and it had literally one season, and I think the season literally ended in like this high tension moment of like what was she gonna do with her career, and I think she was gonna like fall in love, and so it just left me on a cliffhanger that we never got an answer to. And again, another girlie who was chasing the fashion dream, and so just a show that I loved as the young gay boy that it was. Now to finish off the TV category, what is one show you refuse to watch, Brittany?
I think any survival-esque kind of show, like Naked and Afraid, Survivor, those I don't want to see you eating a rat. Like I just that's not my thing. Like you're playing, especially Naked and Afraid. My parents actually love that show, and I don't see the appeal. Like you're butt ass naked in the woods. I don't I don't get it. I just don't.
So for me, I mean I'm a huge reality TV person, so I definitely would watch anything reality TV. I feel like certain Docu-series, I mean, I'm a huge TV buff in general, but there are certain docu-series that I just wouldn't go down the rabbit hole in. I feel like an OJ Simpson one, I'm sorry. I feel like we've lived it, relived it, and are trying to continue to just touch back on the topic. There's certain kind of docus. Oh my god, I'm gonna get canceled for this. But even like the whole John Benet Ramsey. Like I think the new one that just came out, and then the dad coming on TV. Like there's certain ones that I'm just like that. Like it has happened. Let's continue to investigate. But when there's new things, let's unlock it. There's ones that's been retold. So that would be me,
I
and I'm
agree
gonna be
with
canceled.
you. No, I agree. Well, then we're both because I agree with you very much on it, and it's funny because I'm somebody who I don't want to say I love because it's such a sad story, but like I've been so interested in the John Benet Ramsey case. But like you said, there's just been so many like Lifetime movies and documentaries and docuseries. That's like let the girl rest already. Like this has been I think 1996. Like it we're going on what 30, 40 years. It's a lot. And again, if we're not going to bring any new hardcore evidence to the forefront, then just like let it go because with that I also feel like every 5 years somebody else in jail comes out like I did it and it's like oh okay yeah okay you did
100%.
but
Yeah, it's just being retold.
definitely definitely and also with the OJ one like at this point the man passed away we're not finding out who did it
Yeah.
but so moving moving on to music what song would play every time you walked into the room.
Okay, I say this because every time someone calls me, I pick up my phone saying, "What do you want from me?" So I feel like the Adam Lambert song,
Wait,
I would live for that.
that's on my playlist, like my throwback playlist. I love that. For me, I'd say Prima Donna by Marina and the Diamonds. That's what I want to say, but I feel like the true answer is probably like She Used to Be Mine from Waitress.
Love, such a good song.
But yeah, I'd go with Prima Donna. Guilty Pleasure song.
Okay, and this is for my new Wicked stands. I was a Wicked fan before the movie. Guilty pleasure song popular. Every time it would come on the car, I was just belted. I just at home. I mean, it's just such a cutesy song. She's so funny in it. Yeah, guilty pleasure song for sure.
Love popular. I'm gonna say, and this is just because I think like last week they did Shrek Night on The Masked Singer, and I can't get the song out of my head, but it's Believer from Shrek.
Oh,
Or yeah, that's a cute one. I'm also gonna say Every Day from High School Musical. That
oh,
whole
love.
soundtrack, all three, but that song in particular. This is a good one. If you can listen to only one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, I feel like these questions keep just exposing me. I would say Fifth Harmony 727. That was my girlies. Had a huge obsession with Fifth Harmony growing up, and I just that album in itself I think was very special. It was also their last album as a group, all five of them, before they disbanded. So I feel like so many good tracks. They were experimenting by that point, also co-writing. So I would say that was definitely a very favorite one.
That's a good one. I'd say Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. I think that one has, I was going to say Eternal Sunshine, but I think Thank You Next has everything. You have the ballads with like Ghostin', you have the R&B, you have the pop, you have it all. And I think that's one of her best albums. We can talk all day about how it was snubbed tremendously, but that I think is one of her best albums.
Yes, anything Ariana Grande, we stand for sure. With that, now we are into the category of celeb. So all things celebrity. So to start off, Brittany, what is or who is your favorite celebrity?
Ooh. So, funny enough, the question was, there was something else in that question, but we pasted it wrong. But anyways, favorite celebrity. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna say for the moment, I'm gonna say Sabrina Carpenter.
Ooh, I love.
She just gives me pop star. Just oh my god, she's funny. She's the moment. She really is. And we're also both 4'11", so we got that going for us too.
My favorite celebrity, I will definitely say Miss Kiki Palmer. Uh, she's a meme queen. She is funny. She can act. She can sing. And I love watching her be on this journey of like literally just getting her dreams, getting her blessings, manifesting it. I read also her book and even much more of a fan after that as well. So yeah, say her.
Her
Uh,
bit at the was it the NAACP Awards where she won Entertainer of the on the floor.
Yes.
on the floor. So yeah,
And
amazing.
this new hair that we're doing, this like orangey color,
Yes.
looks stunning. So love her. With that as well, Brittany, what celebrity couple or couples were you devastated to see break up?
Keeping in line with High School Musical, Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. I still feel like they're gonna find. I know she's married and she has a kid. I feel like they're gonna find their way to each other at some point. Like, even when she broke up with Austin Butler, I'm like, all right, Zach, let's go. Get your head in the game. And he didn't. So, that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely rooting for them at some point. And someone else I'm rooting to find love is Miss Jennifer Lopez. I will say all her breakups have devastated me, but more recently, the one with Ben Affleck. When they got back together, I literally was like, oh my God, they haven't been together for X amount of years. They finally found their way back together. And she made a whole movie album, like redid her album that was special about him, and so I was just rooting for them, and I was rooting for her to finally find love, and it was sad to see that happen. But
That
yeah,
is very true.
yeah. But I know people people will be coming for my girl J Lo. So yes, you know we'll keep tabs on her love story. With that as well. Lastly, to wrap up the celeb category, a iconic carpet look. What was your favorite one?
Britney Spears, 2002 Versace.
Ooh.
It's actually the one that Blake Lively wore to one of the premieres of It Ends With Us. It was like that pink, yellow, silvery kind of dress.
Oh my gosh. Okay, me googling.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
funny. Let me Google it. But yeah, it there's something about that look to me that it's just ethereal. It's gorgeous. It's everything.
Yeah, wow, that is very beautiful. Oh my God, I
Yes.
didn't know it
So
was a recreation of, or like wearing that same dress.
for those who are watching this on YouTube, this is the look. It is stunning. One of my favorites ever. But yeah, so I'd say that has to be my favorite.
For me, it is, I would say, Billy Porter and Randy Rom when it was one of the first times I think that we saw a man who was nominated in the category wear like this bedazzled, it was like a creamy-ish kind of gold color suit, but it had a cape and it was all embellished. And like the minute he opened it up, I was just like, sold. I want one in every color and icon.
He is an icon when it comes to fashion. I mean, my favorite was gonna be the hat that like closes in. That was I need one of those just like every day of my life. He icon. But that was a fun game. We hope that you guys got to know us a little bit more in our interests. With that, what we do have coming up is our Oscars recap, which will come out probably the day or 2 days after the Oscars. We got to get our lives together with filming and all of that. But I think we just need an episode in itself of the Wicked performance. Like,
Yes.
oh my goodness, I'm looking so forward to that. Is there anything else at the Oscars you're looking forward to?
I mean, yeah, definitely performances. Red carpet is going to be another big one, I think, too. And we are going to stay tuned to the snubs. Who is getting snubbed? Because, I mean, obviously, the whole award season has built up, I feel like, to this moment when it comes to films, best pictures, actresses, actors. So I definitely want to see, like, if the trend that we were seeing all season long actually was right, or if someone's going to get a big curveball and we'll get some surprises. So I'm excited.
I'm
And we'll get
excited.
the tech together by then, guys. My laptop is on the brink of blowing up, I think. I don't know.
I literally hear it hyperventilating this whole podcast. I'm like, oh my god, just make it through the episode, please. But yeah, with that, thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you next time.